Look at how beautiful that is. In between the what? You ready? Have you ever tried opening a coconut before and miserably failed? Well, don't worry, because I've been there in the past. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to slay coconuts like this, like a Jedi, just using a stone. Come on, let's go. Stick around to the end of this video, because later I will reveal a bonus second type of stone and shape that you can find more readily and easily than something like this. Okay, let's get started. So when you're first trying to open a coconut, especially using a stone, the trick is when you look at the coconut at this angle, you can see that there's two eyes and a mouth, right? And if you was to pierce through these little holes right here, it would literally pierce into the coconut, going right into the meat. This area is not protected by a shell, right? Everywhere else is protected by the shell, but in these three dots right here, it's literally goes right through the soft meat. It's actually pretty tough meat, or it can be. When you're looking at the coconut, you can see there's three ridges, straight lines going like this, one here and one here, going like that. When you're opening a coconut with a stone, ideally you want to hit the stone on one of the top ridges, ideally between the two eyes. If you look right there, there's two eyes and there's the middle line. You want to hit the rock right on top of this line on top. So, for example, you would turn it this way and then with your stone, right, hit it right on top of that line. When looking for a stone, ideally you want a heavier type of stone. I would avoid stones that are very light. They usually will just break, that's why. And you kind of need the weight too. When you're swinging the rock, you know, it'll be like a hammer coming down on the coconut. So I find like river stones work pretty well. Sometimes you can find stones at the beach, at the lake, in the mountains, wherever you are. You want the stones to be pretty solid without big air pockets in them and quite heavy. Make sure that the stone is comfortable for your strength and your size and your hand, right? You want it to fit quite comfortably. Like when you see, mine is kind of looks like a splint, how somebody would wrap their finger with a splint. And this stone is actually flat on top, if you can see that. It's actually quite flat. So when I lay my finger on it, it's really comfortable. On this bottom part, it actually angles down to more of a point. It comes towards like a blunt point. Okay, this is kind of like an ideal rock. If you can find rocks similar to this, where as long as your finger is comfortable on the top and it comes down to somewhat of a point, even if it's a blunt point, right, with the weight. Once you got the perfect rock for your hand and fingers that fits comfortably, now you can start opening coconuts by hitting it in between the eyes. I love challenging myself to see if I can open the coconuts with one hit, you know? It's always fun when you first start to open coconuts. So you can just hit them multiple times going around and they'll eventually crack. If you are enjoying this video on how to open coconuts using a stone, then crush that like button. Leave a comment down below and let me know what types of challenges do you face when opening coconuts. Okay, let's get started. On this first coconut, this is a pretty good sized coconut. So right between the eyes on this middle ridge with the stone, hitting it ideally right in the middle of the shell. You ready? What I do is I'll carry a butter knife. I always have a butter knife with me, especially when opening coconuts. It comes in handy. The shell cracked, and then now we use the butter knife to kind of get into the crack, and then we pry it open. Look at how beautiful that is. Absolutely prime coconut meat right there. Second coconut, right in between the eyes. In between the what? One more using this stone. So here I'll show you another example. I like to crack the coconuts open with one hit if I can. It doesn't always work out that way. So if you're having a hard time to open it with one hit, what you can do is just hit it multiple times going around and it'll crack. So let's, for an example, second hit. So this type of stone works great. And now for the bonus reveal. If you're having a tough time finding, say, a stone that kind of fits your hand like this, then what you can do is, if you go to your local rivers, even at the ocean sometimes, and lakes even, you can more commonly find these types of stones, which this one is more round, right? It looks just like a normal river stone. These stones work great as well. So I have a couple examples here, as you can see. They just look like normal river stones, right? And they're heavy, they're pretty heavy. This one is especially heavy. This one's a little bit lighter. This one will work too. But what you want is the heavier stones that are more solid. I'm pretty sure that most people can find a stone like this, just a normal river stone. So let's put this stone to the test. How I was normally holding this stone, with this circular stone, it's going to have a different type of grip on your finger. You see that? Now you're holding it more circular, but it's still pretty comfortable on my finger, you know? So make sure that whichever stone you end up getting is comfortable on your finger. And this one is comfortable. So let's put this stone to the test and see if I can open this coconut with one hit. Okay, you ready? Right between the eyes. Oh. Let's give it another try. Now let's open a second coconut using multiple hits going around and seeing how many hits it takes. So we always start with the line in between the eyes. So that was about 5 or 6 hits. So your common river stone that is fairly heavy in weight is a great stone to use as well. If you learned something new and enjoyed this video, then smash that subscribe button and leave a comment down below and let me know, what types of challenges have you faced opening coconuts? Have you ever opened a coconut with a stone? Anything, maybe a hammer or even a vice grip. Leave a comment down below and let me know. Make sure to check out the links below on my recommended dehydrated fruits that are darn right delicious and healthy for you. There is even dehydrated dried coconut chips that you're gonna love. So in the end, I ended up getting quite a bit of coconut water. This is maybe about 2 quarts worth, and I'm gonna run it through a strainer and then it'll be good to go to drink pure, or we can mix it with other fruits to add flavors like mangoes. Coconut mango juice. Now it's time to make fresh coconut milk. So in the end, we got a bunch of fresh coconut meat. Now I'm gonna make some fresh coconut milk, and then we're gonna make some fresh coconut ice cream. Click on this video right here where I show you how to make the freshest chocolate coconut vegan ice cream that is downright delicious. And it's simple and easy with just a few ingredients.